How's it going? What's going on? Been a while. Been quite a long time. I hope you've been well. I'm okay now. We got a garden. I started this a couple months ago. I was gonna record, but I didn't. Then I was gonna record again, and then I didn't. And then I was gonna record again, and I didn't. But we're here now. I would like to show you around my humble garden. As you can see, there are car tires instead of your traditional wooden raised bed, which was a good idea in theory, but if you didn't know, the sunlight is attracted to black more than anything. So when you put your plants in a black cylinder, they get heated up astronomically. So we did manage to lose the squash. The squash, long gone. That is one reason from the car tires, and also because it was just stupid hot in general. But the car tires did not help. Those will be ripped up at the end of this season, which is very much approaching, and if anything, should have been a little bit ago. But this is what we got. So we got our okra plants that we have been harvesting on for a little bit. I managed to get 7 really nice pods. Cue the images here. And then we got some more coming in. I'm not sure if we're gonna get any more before the season's over. I don't know if we're focused or not. It doesn't look like we're focused. Let's try to focus in. That is Rigby, my dog. I thought he was gonna fix me. He did not, but that's okay. Look at our tomato plants right here. Very demure. Do people still use that? I don't know. But we're gonna do some harvesting. We got our baby tomatoes right here. And then right over here, we have our lemon boy tomatoes, which were given to me by a customer. Thank you very much, Miss Mavis. Given to me by a customer. We got 2 more growing. We've harvested quite a bit of tomatoes off of this plant. Cue the images here. And then again, quite a bit of okra from our okra plants. We managed to get 1 squash, but I harvested it early and it died. It didn't die because I harvested it early. It died because of the heat, because I put them in car tires. If you were wondering, don't put your plants in car tires. Seems like a good idea, but overall could have just used a couple 4x4s and some glue. But we did have some, they're called pickle bushes. They're a type of cucumber. And that little rascal trampled on them and drug them out. But we managed to get 1 cucumber ball. I did not get a chance to even try it because of that rascal over there. Cue the images. All right, now that you've seen those images, we'll take another gander at the lemon boy tomato plant. We got 1 little baby right there. We got 2 more babies right there. It seems like, ooh, we even have, can't see it, but there's a little baby right there as well. We might be able to get a couple more before the frost, is what they call it in garden culture. I'm just taking it as I go. But we do have quite a bit of very ripe tomatoes that we do need to get picking. I've managed to harvest a good, I want to say, man, it's up to 20, no, I'd say closer to like 15 baby tomatoes, which I have consumed and also shared with my community, my neighbors, my lovely neighbors that have been helpful along the way. I've also had plenty of customers that have brought me a lot of preserves from their homesteads, and overall this community is very, very accepting and very helpful when it comes to gardening. I did not expect all of the support and all of the help along the way. I definitely expected to have to do this all on my own, but it's nice that we don't have to. So we're gonna pick some of these, take those inside, and update you guys on what life has been bringing us. So let's get a couple of these. I love to pick the not so ripe ones so they ripen inside, just so that birds don't steal my precious, precious harvest. Birds are ants. These ants are crazy. Literally so crazy. And I know you can't see my face, but it's probably best for you anyway. Oh, perfect. I like twisting them off so they fall off of their little stems. I don't like taking the whole stem off. I feel like it hurts the tree a little bit. I say tree, but it's tomato shrub. That one's not coming off without a fight. Thank you. Thank you. It's good to whisper sweet nothings to your tomato plants as you're harvesting them for that carbon dioxide and good vibes and good energy for promoting growth in the future. I think that's a pretty good harvest on that. We got quite a bit of tomatoes that started as a seed. Those were once a seed, and now they're tomatoes that I will be munching on. So very bountiful harvest, very nice, very fulfilling hobby. If you're overwhelmingly depressed, I do recommend just throwing some seeds outside and just looking at them sometimes. You don't even have to water them every day because like it rains pretty often, depending on where you're at, obviously. But it rains just enough to keep these going when I do not feel like getting out of bed. And that is usually every single day. So let's see if we can raise you up. So we'll take these inside, give them a little washing, and we'll munch on them while I give you a little backstory on what's been happening the past, I guess it's been 6 months since I last uploaded. So I will catch you inside. All right. So where have I been since March 3rd of 2024? So I do believe that was the final day that I posted a touching grass video. The bit of irony behind behind preaching against or preaching about touching grass is that you kind of go and do it. And so there was definitely a time where I focused on just enjoying the moment for sure and not taking the camera everywhere. But it didn't really last long. So I remember I went on a trip to visit my sister and their new baby, my niece. It was just a day trip, and I got a free hotel with my credit card because I had saved up my rewards and everything. And I took the camera with me. I took that very camera with me, and I recorded quite a bit. And I had very high hopes for the video, and I was looking forward to making content out of it. And I recorded quite a bit. It was up to like 2 hours of content because I would pull the camera out where I stopped, and I did a whole tour of the hotel room. And honestly, I don't ever think it'll see the light of day. Not because it was a bad video, but for some reason there's a mental block on me where now that time has passed, and if I were to upload it, it'd be very just out of place and wouldn't show where I'm at right now. And so I probably won't see the light of day. What did I learn from that experience? Probably not to record as much, because I think everything was good until I loaded it all up into the editor and saw that it was 2 hours, and now I have to skim through it and find the interesting moments and cut out the not so interesting moments to keep you engaged, so that you don't click off. But I see that is very toxic, not just as a content creator, but just as somebody who enjoys making that kind of content, and especially on this channel. This content's more music driven, and I've always kind of enjoyed making just music videos in my head to songs that I thoroughly enjoy. And I'm getting on a tangent, but definitely gonna slow down pace on that. Oftentimes when I plan out content in my head, it's either just over perfectionist, or it's just very hard to start on projects in general for me, just because I overcomplicate things, and I definitely go for perfection rather than good enough. And not to self-diagnose anything, but that does fall under, it's something called analysis paralysis, where you focus on the details too much and never actually start, just because just the thought of having to perfect everything paralyzes you. And that definitely is my case with this, and just with not just with content, but with any project or venture that I have tried to pursue just throughout my life. I just focus on the end goal and never how to start or how to get there, and always try to do everything perfect and not just good enough. And so with all those high anticipations and overly high unrealistic expectations that I put on myself, I burn out, or I just get very demotivated and just forget it altogether, which is very counterintuitive, if you can imagine. So, hello Nina. So as you saw, I got a dog. I was convinced that he would fix me, that he would be the answer to all of my problems. Because, like, what is my main problem? Getting out of bed, right? I don't get out of bed. I stay until I can't. I stay until, like, I literally have to be somewhere. So if I get a dog, you have to wake up and feed that dog, right? Like, he's going to wake you up to make you feed him. No. This goober just stays in bed with me all day, which I don't blame him. The bed is nice. But he just stays there and just cuddles with me, and I'm glad he does. Nina's not very fond of him. Not very fond at all of him. But they play together. I think it's playing. I don't know if it's domestic violence. But they chase each other around the house quite often, as they're doing now. But did he fix me? No. Did he make me a little bit worse? 100%. 100%. Because, again, I had unrealistic expectations. And I see that as a trend in my life, is the unrealistic expectations. You think about the joy of getting the dog, but you don't think about the dog never learning not to poop in the house, which obviously, he's a puppy, right? Show some pictures of him being a cute little puppy, a cute little thing. I miss it. He used to be so much better. Not better, but more maintainable, right? He didn't have all this energy, and even if he did, he was a small little jelly bean. He wasn't running and jumping everywhere, which he really shouldn't be jumping everywhere. The vet says that he's going to paralyze himself, all this jumping, but he loves parkour. He'll bounce off of everything that he can. But he loves attention. He loves to move. And originally I wanted to get him so that he can go hiking with me and so he could touch grass with me. And he's just now getting to the point where he's big enough to not get picked up by an eagle in the middle of the woods. And I'm appreciative of that. But yeah, so I haven't really uploaded anything on this channel. We did make a karaoke video for the Crazy Gaming channel, and I do intend on making some Roblox Rivals content, because that's a really fun game. It keeps my attention pretty well, and I want to try to get back into the C-Day type edits that I used to do with Valorant and Rainbow Six Siege. I loved making that content, but again, I fell into the trap of trying to keep retention high, looking at CTR, analysis paralysis, right? Instead of just making something I enjoy. And I found that you make something you enjoy, the views will come. And it's very counterintuitive to worry about those views, because it's like, why are you making it in the first place, right? It's an outlet of creativity. And so you make what you enjoy, and instead of going for perfection, go for good enough. And go for what you enjoy, and obviously don't necessarily worry like, oh, are they going to click off if they don't enjoy it? If they don't enjoy it, they're going to click off regardless, right? And it'll just get pushed to the next person and the next person, and somebody will eventually enjoy it. Or that's what I am starting to think about it, and I can think about it all day, but my actions are definitely different than my thoughts. Oh, I just squirted tomato juice all over my $200 Rode microphone that my lovely girlfriend got me. I really hope that doesn't affect the audio. Did you know that you are not your thoughts, but you are an observer of those thoughts? And you decide whether you act on those thoughts, or if, not necessarily you feel on those thoughts, because I've not been able to control my emotions whatsoever. But I can set up different kind of like waypoints or checkpoints, and it's gotten to a point where if I do have some sort of negative thought, my first checklist is, did I get 8 hours of sleep? Because apparently that's very important. They stressed that a lot growing up, to get those 8 hours of sleep, and I never really gave it much thought, because I'm the type that can run off of 3, right? I can run off of 3 hours, but I'm going to be miserable the entire time. I'm definitely a workhorse. But when it comes to emotion regulation or keeping those like negative thoughts out, definitely want to get 8 hours of sleep and eat something. Did you know that? Did you know that if you do not get 8 hours of sleep and you do not eat something, all of the odds are against you, and all of your thoughts will define you, and it's going to be a lot harder to navigate through those negative thoughts and emotions. Yeah, I'm starting. I'm starting to come to the realization, and it's very humbling that yeah, you know all the answers and you know all the methods, but it still doesn't click. Like no matter everything I just said out loud, I know all those things, but I still cannot get out of bed in the morning, and I still slept until 2 p.m. because the weight of all of my responsibilities just paralyzed me, and it's just so much easier to sleep and avoid those issues than it is to get up and face those not even issues and not even problems. It's unrealistic expectations that I put on myself. It's like I have a day off and I want to enjoy that day off, but why can I not feel enjoyment until I do the dishes that are eating at me in the sink, or clean up my carport that's eating at me, or mow my backyard, or tend to the garden, or make this thing for this person that I told them I would for this hobby that I had 6 months ago. And it's just very exhausting and very ranty and just very claustrophobic. But trying to learn how to dumb things down and to not go for perfection and just to go for good enough and to try to find the little enjoyment of things. Yeah. Have I been touching grass? Not very much. We should probably restart on that. Last night I did re-delete all of the apps from my phone that wasn't messaging or calendars or any utilities that I do use. I deleted Facebook, Instagram I already had deleted. I'm keeping Snapchat just because that's what I talk to my lovely girlfriend on, and we could text on regular text messages, but we grew up on the Snapchat age, so it is a harder hurdle to jump over. But the Snapchat doom scrolling is not an issue for me. All of the Snapchat videos are pretty unintelligent and stupid. What would usually get me was the more intelligence derived TikToks and Facebook Reels. Those definitely hooked me because they did have a lot of self growth. I was definitely on the self growth For You page, but there's like a balance. It's like going through all these all the stoicism and all the spiritual awakening and everything, and sticking to that and taking little bits and pieces, and then realizing that you've been on your phone for 2 hours. And so on days that I would wake up early, I would just wake up and get on my phone. And the time that I would have saved by waking up early, I just wasted by getting on my phone and doom scrolling. And now I'm at a point where I'm constantly looking for those little dopamine hits, and I can't really find them in anything else besides that doom scrolling. But big shout out to Dr. K at Healthy Gamer GG for, I mean, man, like that's the one thing that's gotten me out of like this analysis paralysis, if that's what you'll call it, or just general underenjoyment of my current life state that I've put myself in by, I don't know, the unrealistic expectations for sure, and the improper sleep and the improper eating. But the people at Healthy Gamer GG on YouTube, definitely big shout out. Their link's gonna be in the description. Have very much helped me just pinpoint where those problems are coming from, and kind of try to find that balance and find how to go from there, and how to just be a better version of myself. Because at the end of the day, it's just me in this empty house with my 2 cats and my dog, and my thoughts and my emotions, and this stupid squeaking ball that he somehow has not torn up yet. He's torn up everything else besides this one squeaky ball, and he only brings it out when I'm trying to watch TV. Game of Thrones has hooked me. Game of Thrones is really fire. Roblox Rivals, really fire. Gardening, really fire. Cooking, really fire. Yeah, That's all I got. I've always loved making music videos in my head to songs that I really enjoy. I remember the first time I started to have that mindset with music is a song. It's by Jimmy Eat World from a movie called The Sorcerer's Apprentice, and it's his child version of himself, the main character, and he's going to somewhere in New York, but he's on a school bus, and that song turns on, and all of a sudden it's like a cool intro, and there's like a drone shot of outside the bus, and it's a vibe, right? And so naturally from there, just every song that I listen to that I thoroughly enjoy, I'm automatically thinking of like, how do I make, just in my brain, not like thinking of a process to make a music video, but like, what does this make me feel, and how could I portray that in an art form if I were to? And I've never really acted on it besides with these videos, and I thoroughly enjoy that because it definitely encapsulates, it captures the emotions that specific song makes me feel, and I'd say that I'm pretty good at portraying those emotions through music and the edits that I make, and the content that I choose to consume and produce. But yeah, I do appreciate you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the very short garden update or walkthrough or whatever. Very sporadic, very not organized, but something's better than nothing, is what I'm telling myself. And honestly, if I'm being honest and vulnerable here, I almost turned off the camera when it wouldn't focus in on the plants, but I kept it on. It's gonna bug me in editing when I see that it's not focused at all. But you still have my audio, and hopefully the audio is pretty good. Do have a pretty good mic, as long as the tomato juice that I just squirted all over it doesn't ruin it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did enjoy it, thank you for sticking around to this part and looking for enjoyment within this video. It's really just an update. Yeah, for the future, I honestly cannot promise anything from myself because that is where the unrealistic expectations stem from, is me saying that I'll do something and then wanting to do it to the best of my ability and then just never doing it, and then that just adds on to more guilt and to more exhaustion, and you get the vibe. So all I can say is that I love you and I appreciate you. I appreciate you for sticking around. I appreciate you for being you, and I appreciate myself for being me, no matter how faulty that has been along this lifespan, I guess you would say. But today's gonna be a good day. Tomorrow better be a good day, and the day after that, we will know when we get there. I love you. You matter. No matter how annoying he is, he matters. No matter how annoying I am, I matter. And I'll see you the next time I upload. Say goodbye. Oh, oh. His name's Rigby from Regular Show. I love Regular Show. Top 3 cartoons for sure. Adventure Time, Regular Show, Gravity Falls. Top 3 cartoons for sure growing up. Clarence was also really good, but that was like later in my childhood. What was another good cartoon? Total Drama Island, very good. I really like anime, but that wasn't until later on. I'm trying to think. Disney Channel was very good. Man, it's becoming it's the Burr months, right? And so the spooky seasons approach us, and things are getting cooler, and thank goodness they are, because it seems that I spiral the most when it's hot, and I just don't feel the energy to go outside and suffer with that. So, yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And you know what time it is. I'll see you the next time I upload. I love you, and goodbye. Farewell. I'll see you next time.